to order, and I don't think everybody signed in on their computer, so we should take the roll
Alan Buckstrom,
here.
Michelle Drobnik,
I'm here.
Doug Erickson,
Here.
Jason Hastings is excused, Robert Kopish, Larry Mivas, and Rachel Hoffman is excused. Thank you.
Okay. See, we don't have any public announcements on this agenda.
No.
Public comments. Does anybody want to make any public comments? Anybody from the committee wish to speak? Have any communications? Oh, yeah, that's right. Zoning number 2. Okay, so we're good. I hear no communications, so we're going to move into the resolutions. Now, at the last meeting, we held 4 hearings, and all of those hearings resulted in an approval. What was missing was the signature sheets. So if nobody has any objections, we could take all of these under one motion, unless we want to do it individually.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve all 4.
Okay,
A second.
okay, motion has been made and seconded by Michelle and Bob.
Different one.
No, I know. I just like, this meeting's gonna be over in like 2 seconds. That's right.
Is there any comments? Okay, although we'll vote on that issue. All those in favor signify by saying aye. So what aye?
Aye.
Aye.
So what I'm gonna do is, these are the signature pages, and I'm gonna sign the ones and then pass it on to my left, and Bob can take it from there.
Alan, and just for the record, because we're recording it, so this was for 4 different resolutions
Yes,
to amend ordinance 52029, 525-2, chapter 505, repeal it, and then adopt a new chapter 505. And like you had stated, we discussed it all at the last meeting. It's just, we didn't have the resolutions.
we didn't
We
have
had
the-
motions to accept them all, pass them all, do what we needed to. When we looked into it, we need a resolution to cover those.
okay, so at that point, this meeting is adjourned. And we'll call to order the UW extension portion of the meeting. And roll call.
Alan Buckstrom,
Here.
Michelle Drobnik, Doug Erickson,
Here.
Jason Hastings is excused, Robert Kopish, and Rachel Hoffman is also excused.
Okay, is there any public comment? Okay, hearing none. Any communications from any member of the committee? All right, then we will address this issue. Now, this particular committee thought that the SNAP educator was an important feature of UW Extension. And it was our intention to create a resolution in support of that, which we did. And so if that is approved, this committee would pass it on to the full county board. So is there any comments on and does everybody have a copy of it?
I guess I do have one question, and this, I guess, would be to Nick. As a county, do we pay anything towards this? But does this count against that state or from the UW funding as far as our employees that they pay us or?
No, and Amber can talk about this too. So the SNAP Ed program is a completely separately funded program. What our responsibility as a county is space. So we give space to that position, storage, office space, but it was completely funded outside of anything we do.
The federal funds have been withdrawn, and there's no question that it's going to end. In fact, educator did receive a final notice for employment, which will occur in September. And interesting, I was listening to the Wisconsin Counties Association, and they talked about this very resolution and how many dollars were spent. And I noted that there were 6 counties in the southeast part of the state that will continue to receive some funds for that program from a different grant. So that's unfortunate, you know.
And that's a roll down period. So there was something where they received some funding to the program to roll out, to complete some of its projects. So they got a different funding to do that. And just to clarify, the letters that went out came from the university on your last day through this program. The program ends, I believe, October 1st. So October 1st. However, based on all their contracts, there's a period of time where, like, if you were a 10-year employee, you had to get 60 days notice. If you were a 15-year employee, you had to get 90. I don't know the exact date, but if you were a 20-year, you had to get a longer notice of layoff or the program ending. So for instance, in Price County, the last day is December 31st. So because of that rollout of, you've been here, she was here 25 years plus. So there was a longer notice period. So the program ends October 1st. There's a roll down period that will end it.
So I'll not read all of the resolution whereas, but I'll read the first one. Wisconsin counties play a vital role in implementing federally funded programs that support the health, food security, and economic resilience of residents, especially low-income individuals and families. In the last whereas, eliminating SNAP Ed funding does create fiscal pressure on counties, undermines food security for vulnerable residents, and negatively impacts Wisconsin local food systems and farming economy. Now therefore be it resolved that the Price County Board of Supervisors assembled this 19th day of August, 2025, encourages other Wisconsin counties, local leaders, and community organizations to join in advocating for the restoration of SNAP Ed funding to ensure continued access to nutrition, education, support for local food systems, and improved health outcomes for Wisconsin residents. And be it finally resolved that the county acknowledges the loss of SNAP Ed funding as a significant setback to community nutrition programming and remains committed to exploring future opportunities to support similar efforts at the local level. So I would be looking for a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Michelle. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Doug Erickson. Any discussion? Bob, you said you had something?
I
I do too.
would like to amend. I would like to amend this resolution, and
Okay.
I've got the language here, so I'm
You
gonna
do?
hand it out. So
You
then
can
I'll
hand
make a
it out?
motion, yeah.
Okay, good.
And just as a preface, I took a shot at some language, if you want different language, but the intent is that, because that little dissertation I gave at the last meeting, I think the state should step up. Because I don't think we're gonna get anywhere.
And
with
this is
federal
going to
government
encourage
at
them
this
to
point.
do exactly that.
Well, and I'm actually saying it, that they will use state of Wisconsin resources to fund this program. So I'm gonna hand this out. And the motion I'm gonna make to amend is gonna be the red highlighted language.
Bob, while you're doing that, I just have a question if anybody knows the answer. What does it actually cost? Like I know it doesn't cost our county anything to have her, but what is the actual cost that comes through?
For the state, it was 8.3 million
No, but just for our county. Like, is
They-
there a way to figure that out or no?
divided by 72, which is like 100,000. There's 72 counties.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a great question, Michelle. And it's a a little more complex than just dividing it because every county had a different amount of support based on the needs within that community. So here we only had 0.5 FTE. And so probably, what Michelle is asking is like, what would it cost if we took on that or the state decided to fund for here? So, that is really the big question, and there's a lot going into it. It's somewhere around when they run the numbers for a 0.5 FTE, it would cost you somewhere around like 36 to 40,000 for benefits and salary. So, I mean, that, you know, that we're looking at that. And then they're also looking at the co-funded model that we have with other positions to see if it wouldn't necessarily be SNAP Ed but it would be health and well-being education around nutrition and other needs that the community has around health and well-being.
Just as a comment, Rachel, who was not here, I asked her if it was worthwhile and she said that it was a positive thing for the young kids to learn about good nutrition early on. So she welcomed the effort and she'll miss it. Okay, Bob, you
Yeah,
wanna make a
I
motion
handed
to-
out the changes I'd like to make with the motion I'm going to make. And then I noticed that we need to do something at the end as far as getting our state representatives and the governor involved. So I'm going to ask to add that in addition to the red language I have in here. But I make a motion to amend this resolution per the handout. And basically, there's two areas. It's the main area. I'm taking out the name federal, and I'm just looking for restoration of SNAP Ed funding with State of Wisconsin resources to support the Foodwise education program. And then down on the now therefore paragraph, I'm inserting the language SNAP Ed funding using State of Wisconsin resources. And then as I just mentioned, we need to add our Wisconsin representatives and the governor of the state of Wisconsin to the people that get copies of this. So I would like to add that also.
all right,
So that's the amendment I propose.
the form of a motion. Do I hear a second to those amendments?
I'll second.
Seconded by Michelle Drobnik. Any further discussion on the amendment? Hearing none, we'll vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Amendments passed. Now we'll go back to the original.
May I speak?
Sure.
Paula Hodak. My question would be, Nick, do you know if it's too late to put in resolutions to the WCA? If this could be,
They're way past there.
Is it
was
way
June-
past
Yeah, we
that?
did that last week.
Yeah,
Was it
June
last
was the
week?
deadline, and then they
Shoot.
met as board
Oh, they
members.
did already.
Already went through the committee.
Okay.
The WCA is reviewing this and working. We had Dean Carl Martin on the Monday call. Our steering committee has met to discuss this. So this is being discussed. It's
Okay.
not forgotten.
Okay.
The Wisconsin Counties Association is very well aware of the
Right. And I was online with them too. I realized that. Just wondered if we could put it into paper form, but I didn't realize it was that close. I knew it was close. So, okay, thank you.
Okay, now we'll address the original resolution that was Michelle made the motion and Doug Erickson seconded it. And is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll vote on the resolution as amended. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, we handle that.
Okay,
I,
so now I have a question though. Obviously, this is not going to be a fast moving process. So is there something that we can do to keep her at all as a county level? I mean, the budget's getting worked on. Is there really nothing we can do?
Well,
That's-
sure there is, but you know, right now we're deep into the budget process. If you're interested in that, I would suggest, maybe attending, a meeting.
Based on my cohort of like counties around us and even working with the university, it's not something that's happening in general to try to use local funds, because that's a dangerous game to play, because then all of a sudden the state goes, oh, cool, if we cut this, they'll take it. This is one of those, this isn't a mandated service, so it's tough. It's a great service for the community, but we're already strapped on our budget. So to come up with an extra 40, 50,000 with program costs, And even if you did, it wouldn't start till January 1st, and the program's already 3 months out, 2 months out of being disbanded. So we'd have to come up with all of our own programming because it would no longer be supported by the university in that capacity. So it would be difficult either way. It's just, like you said, it's a slow moving process. It's
But you're saying difficult, not impossible.
there's
I mean, for something that's a big benefit to not only the youth in the area, but even adults that take advantage of it. I hate to see something that is so beneficial to everyone just go away.
yeah, I don't disagree. It's just it's also then they would become our employee, which again isn't impossible. We don't know if that employee is going to continue. They've had a 25 plus year career. There would be a lot of hurdles to cross in the next 3 months.
But you could show up at a executive committee meeting and state your case and convince
Well-
3 other people.
We're gonna have budget discussion somewhat at the county board meeting this morning. If you want, you could bring it up. And then if there's enough interest, we could put it on an agenda executive and work its way back to full board.
Got her, Otter.
So we are committed. While Wendy is here through December, she will continue to do programming. So, as Nick talked about, there will be a wind down. So obviously there are 25 plus years of materials that need to be gone through and sorted and distributed because there were cooking lessons taught. And so we have items that we need to do something with. And the hope is to keep them locally where they can continue to be used. But she will also be doing some programming. So where we can continue to provide that education through the end, we are committed to doing that. And so, definitely willing to explore other options in the future because I do think with an aging population and a young population, health and nutrition is really critical. So we will I'm definitely willing to explore and work on that, whether it happens in 2026 or beyond. I think we're always committed to being able to link the university resources here locally. And so definitely happy to have that conversation and get some of those numbers so that as you think about this year's budget or future budgets, and Nick and I started some of these conversations as soon as we heard about it. So, I'm definitely willing and open to explore what that might look like, or other possibilities to make that feasible and affordable for a small community like ours.
Okay, thank you, Amber. With that said, all being said, I'll adjourn this meeting and but sure to hang around for the signature portion of the. Don't run off.
Thank you.
Yeah.